So this video is specifically about our voting system called First Past the Post. So in the UK, there are 650 constituencies and 1 MP per constituency. The UK has been divided up into 650 smaller areas with about 70,000 people in each, and it's these smaller areas that are called constituencies. Under the First Past the Post system, everyone gets one vote, so you can only vote for one person. First past the post is known as winner takes all, since you don't need a majority of votes to win, you just need more than the other candidates. The upshot of this is that there's a clear winner. But in theory, you could have 30,000 people voting for person A, 20,000 people voting for person B, and 20,000 people voting for person C. A will win the election despite most people not wanting A to be their representative. There is a clear winner with First Past the Post, but recently there was a strong call for change to a more proportional system called the alternative vote. In proportional systems, the number of seats a party gets is more representative of how many people voted for it. Under these systems, it takes more time for governments to be formed, since everything has to be worked out, and it's less likely that one party will have a clear majority. In Britain, we tend to favour a strong government, which we're likely to get with First Past the Post, over a representative one. In some proportional systems, you rank candidates in order of preference, and if no one has a majority of votes placing them as number one, then the person with the least number of votes is eliminated. Then we take a look at the cards of people who most preferred the eliminated candidate. Their second place votes are then allocated to the remaining candidates. So in this example, if this was my voting card and person A had the least number of votes, he would be eliminated and person C would get an extra vote. This continues until eventually someone has an overall majority. It's a lot more complex than First Past the Post. One of the main problems with First Past the Post is that it has a tendency to give what's called a winner's bonus, where the proportion of seats won by the winner is larger than their proportion of the vote. For instance, in 2005, Labour won 35% of the vote, but 55% of the seats. In fact, seat numbers can be widely disproportionate to vote numbers. In 1983, Labour won 27% of the vote and gained 205 seats, while the SDP Liberal Alliance, now the Liberal Democrats, won 25% of the vote and gained 23 seats. There have even been 2 occasions in the last 100 years where the party with the most votes didn't get the most seats and so didn't become the government. The winner-takes-all system badly treats smaller parties as they can gain a decent percentage of the vote, but completely miss out on representation, as seen in 1983. Generally, the Liberal Democrats have had decent support across the UK for a long time, but because the support is thinly spread, it rarely translates into seats. First Past the Post also encourages the underrepresentation of minority groups, as there is a tendency to play it safe due to fear of alienating some voters. There is also a tendency of First Past the Post to produce safe seats, which are constituencies in which it's almost certain who's going to win. This can cause problems when you don't personally support that party, because it can make you question the point in voting if it's a foregone conclusion. It can also result in the region being ignored when it comes to framing policy, an attitude of, what's the point in trying to help them if they're never going to vote for me? It will probably also be ignored during campaign time, an attitude of, well, there's no point in going there because they're already going to vote for me. However, it's not all bad. First Past the Post clearly does have some good points. Firstly, the government is known immediately after the votes are counted, and there's almost no need for secret deals between party leaders as coalitions are rare, but evidently not impossible. The government produced is usually a strong, stable, single party, and there's clear accountability of the government to the governed. The results do broadly reflect popular opinion, although they are exaggerated. And representative systems often mean there needs to be more than one MP per constituency, making things confusing. With First Past the Post, there is only one MP per area. Some representative systems mean there's actually no real link between the MP and the constituency at all. Most importantly, the system is easy to understand. When we vote, we know what we're voting for and who we're voting for.